You should have it. Have you done it? Should be on the Xbox Party. Anything? DJ? No, can't hear you. No, have you included your audio? Oh, it's fucking raining. Again! Try and disable and re-enable it. I'm gonna check Arrow's Twitch. Honest. Hello Adam, hello James. Have you tried re-enabling it? Someone's already crashed. Smoke and Ash has gone down the runoff. Twitch still can't hear you. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, welcome in to the Twitch. We're here in Azerbaijan, and in a circuit where you normally don't expect rain, it's raining, and Scones has opted to use the soft compound tyres, you see. Scones is out on track on the soft tyres. That is definitely going to be a wrong call. So which Ferrari leads the way? It's NMX James, the Tier 3 Championship leader. The man who's currently on the win streak, Kodomatic, isn't here, and we've already got another yellow flag, and this time it's Arrow on its outlap, has got front wing damage. Ferrari already finds the barrier. We've had our first bit of front wing damage here in, where are we? Baku today. And when it rains, it pours, no matter how light it is, and something's telling me this could be quite the poor qualifying session for Arrow. But anyway, let's go qualifying in Baku through the final couple of corners, through 18, 19, and then through turn 20 down the long main straight, powering down towards turn number 1. TJ, have you fixed it? Into turn number 1 we go with NMX James, the Scarlet Ferrari, through turn 1, making their way down towards turn number 2 in the Ferrari, once again like they have been the whole season in Tier 3. Obviously this man is the championship leader, and he's got 5 wins so far in Season 6 in Tier 3, storming on for what will be World Championship glory for NMX James. Through turn 3, down towards turn number 4, the Scarlet Ferrari makes their way in these gloomy, overcast, rainy, soaked, wet conditions. Another yellow flag for Arrow once again on the exit of turn 16 as Raheem has just joined the session. So purple first sector goes to the Scarlet Ferrari of James. We go down towards turn the penultimate corner before the castle. Actually, now the final corner before the castle. Will he do a Charles Leclerc into castle? A little bit of a little wobble, but he does keep it nice and clean through castle section. How much of the curb do you cut there on the inside? Quite a lot. You use as much of the runoff as possible as we climb the hill, very so slightly through the street circuit of Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan, and now down towards one of the trickiest braking points of the circuit. He goes in a bit deep, a little bit of oversteer on the exit, and now down towards the turn 16, the most important corner of the racetrack. Straight on the throttle, and now it's just going to be a straight power fest to the line, where this street will be absolutely reeking at ERS. Absolutely no battery left on that Ferrari. He's going to lose time down this whole straight in comparison to others. NMX James will make his way down towards the start finish line. He's conquered all 20 corners, and it will be the benchmark we're going to see set by the James at a 149.592. Ash will go over a second behind it. The Aston Martin behind of Ollie Bean will go P2 there. He goes 6 tenths away from the Tier 3 Championship leader, Craig Connolly. In the Papaya McLaren goes into the front row, a tenth and a half back. What about his teammate Zampa? One pole position so far this season. Took it all the way back in Canada, where he had quite the torrid race, and he's going to go slowest overall was a 51.9. The other Aston Martin can go ahead of his teammate into the 149. He goes as well, was a 49.971. Over to the Red Bull with Easy Racer, who hasn't validated their time, so we will watch Brams making their way towards 50. Oh god, towards turn 15. Have you sorted it yet? Say something. No. No. Right. Brams will make their way to the line. Andy Williams should take provisional pole. Was this? No, he misses out by 0.04 of a second. Who will be next up? I've got notification, so I can't see it. I'm going to guess it's just NMX James, and then it'll probably be the Racing Bulls of Smoking Ash, who is currently 6th fastest overall. Is the Racing Bulls driver. There'll be the two Aston Martins, who I don't think are pushing on, which they're not. I have no idea. I think DZ Racer will be our next driver on a lap, almost tagging the wall. On the exit of the corner, yellow flags in sector 3 for, I'm going to go, almost in the rule again by the Red Bull, getting so close to that barrier as the Racing Bulls is behind him of Sci-Fi Mega Hype on a outlap as we go through turns number 13, through turn 14, and then towards heavy braking turn number 15 in this Baku City Street circuit. Nicely done, and then straight on the power. We have as much battery as possible because in comparison to NMX James, look how much more battery DC Racer has got. 70% ERS as we go through the final three corners of the racetrack as we go now through turn 20, powering towards the line, and DZ Racer will make his way to the line. DRS has actually been enabled by the stewards. DRS is online, so they think the track is dry enough, and it is provisional pole to DZ Racer there. The Mercedes is beginning a lap time. What are you doing, DJ? I can hear the tapping. Oh, has someone in the wall. I think that was Scones who was just tagged the barrier. Yeah, he has. Front right end plate damage. Our first driver we've watched to tag the castle wall. Sci-Fi Mega Hype on a lap now, but Arrow is pushing on in the Ferrari. He has conquered those couple of corners. Have you think you sorted it, yeah? Arrow will make his way through turn 15. It's not giving you an option. Let me try. Oh, Arrow! As I was going through my menus, we watch Arrow in the pause menu spin the car. Right, I know. Let me quickly try and do this. Try again. So Quincy will peel into the pit lane. Is Zampa pushing on? Yes, he is. 1.3 seconds up on their current best time. It's going to be nowhere near pole. It's going to be just under a second away. Ellis is boxing on this lap. Lanky is pushing on. He's getting a lovely slipstream, but by that line, I'm going to guess he's going to be boxing this lap. No, he's not. He will finish his lap and he will go on to provisional pole position with a 49.058 as the Aston Martin of Ollie Beans making their way down the main straight. Ash not pushing on. Maybe the McLaren or Zampa pushing on. And no. You think you saw it yet? Or? What do you mean you've linked your account? You don't have to. Is this just in the party? You click include my audio. I would say our scones, but the scones did the exact same thing you did. But whatever. I don't know. Yeah. So scones will come into the pit lane. Was that Craig Conley who had just improved their time? I saw someone go up. I'm not too sure who it was. The Alpine of Raheem on the outlap. Does anyone dare? Does anyone gamble a set of slicks? The track looks dry, but obviously you can see the raindrops on the track, so that's normally my indication to say no, it's not dry. What are you doing, TJ? I can hear the tapping. As DZ Racer, I think, might be pushing on. DZ Racer was thinking about finishing the lap, but will come into the pit lane as the two cars behind him come into pit lane as well. Quincy's thinking about the softs. You can see on the menus that he has got the soft tyres selected. So Raheem, I think, will be up next, or will it be Ollie Bean, who isn't improving their time? Craig Conley? Oh. Craig Conley might be 54 milliseconds up on their personal best so far as we climb the hill through 13 and then through 14, then towards the heavy braking zone of turn number 15. How well do you clip the apex? Clips it very nicely and then gets on the power right away. Is down towards the end of the circuit. He is half a second up on his time as Craig Conley, who, if he can find another 3/10 in this whole straight, he should be on for it, as someone has been collected in the castle and Raheem has gone on in the castle and straight in the barrier, and that is front wing damage in the wall for the Alpine, finding the barrier as Craig Conley will come across the line. And will he take provisional pole position? Yes, he will, by just over a tenth of a second in his provisional pole for the McLaren driver, as James pushing on once again. He will have to pit this lap if he will want to go out again, as there is yellow flags in the opening section of the racetrack, as there is 3 cars jockeying for position. Scones, it was Scones, Ash, who is out on the softs. We've got someone out on the soft compound tyre as the Williams of Scones, who was on the outlap. Back to NMX James as we approach the end of the middle sector. Do you bail out of this lap, or do you gamble, or do you just stay with the Inters? Almost in the wall. It does tag the wall. The Ferrari tags the wall as at the end of the middle sector, NMX James 2.5 tenths up on their personal best. Needs a lot more time to be able to find that provisional pole, but he's not saving enough battery in comparison to the rest. Through 18, through 19, towards turn 20, Craig Conley has disconnected from the session as Lanky has gone straight on in turn number 2. NMX James will make their way down towards the line, and NMX James is going to cross the line, and is it good enough? It's not good enough for pole. It's good enough for P3, and he will have to commit with these intermediate tyres now. He ain't got enough time to get back round. Craig Conley disconnected. Yeah, I don't think so. It's a gamble, and a lot of them are going out on him. Have you sorted the issue? Or have you given up trying? Or have you just given up until after qualifying? Just buy an Xbox. Arrow at the end of the middle sector. Is he pushing on? And the exit of the corner. Had again another moment on the exit at turn 16. It's going to cost him so much time down this whole straight. Because sliding and just very slidey around. I can't join the race. Sorry, I'm at my neck. Yeah, don't slide it, mate. As Arrow enables the DRS. He's going to pit. Arrow's going to come into the pit lane. Craig Conley's rejoined the session. Just 2 minutes 50 left. I think that's Arrow done. I don't think Arrow's got enough time to get her back round because of the tricky conditions. And he's going to have to make way for the other cars. Scones, however, is pushing on. Zampa on the soft tyres is pushing on. What is the first end of the first sector saying when he crosses the split? And it's 51 milliseconds down. So maybe in certain parts of the racetrack it is dry enough. Maybe as the lap goes on it will be dry enough to go onto the slick compound tyre. Scones makes their way at the end as Lanky begins. I think that's his next lap. Almost goes deep again at turn 2. But we'll go to Scones through the end of the middle sector. 2.3 seconds up. He is one of 4 drivers on the intermediate tyres. Craig Conley will not get back out. He's stuck on the pit lane in the soft because of the disconnect. Lanky is on the soft. NMX James in the pit lane as well. So James will not be able to do anything. I think James actually has blocked Arrow from coming back out on the track. So we go to Scones, who goes up into the top 4, and then it will be the Racing Bulls of Ash, who doesn't improve their time. Good Raheem beginning their next lap, and then the Haas driver of Quincy, who hasn't set a lap yet. The man's second in the World Championship, or third in the World Championship, I believe. TJ, you're here. Fact check the standings for me. Zampa will make their way down the main straight to have one last hurrah at this qualifying session. He's starting a bit earlier in comparison to the rest of the field. Raheem and Scones are the only 2 drivers out on the track on the soft compound tyres. Arrow has just exited the pit lane, and I don't think he's got enough time. So we will stick with maybe yeah, I thought so. So the Aston Martin comes across the line. Brams, I think, doing a double warm-up lap. What about Lanky? Is Lanky improving? Seems to me that he is pushing on with the DRS enabled, powering to the line. The Mercedes driver will look for an improvement and can't find the improvement. 7 tenths down on their personal best. Sci-Fi Mega Hype will surely be able to recharge, and he will have to get to the line, but he will be able to go again. Ellis is just beginning a lap. The Red Bull of DZ Racer touches the barrier. The Red Bull, who was in contention for pole, finds the wall, and surely Scones, who is I don't know how long's left because there's a Red Bull off. No, the Racing Bull's off. Sci-Fi Mega Hype Scones will not make the line. The Aston Martin of Ellis begins his lap. Will DZ Racer make the line? He will just only by 1 second. So it's currently Craig Conley on provisional pole towards the end, towards the line. Smoke and Ash isn't going to improve his time. Can Raheem do it at the last? Can the McLaren go to the top? He can only go to 10th to the McLaren of Craig Conley, who didn't make the flag. Zampa maybe, or maybe Arrow, who didn't make the flag. What about Quincy, the man who is on charge for the title, to go to the top with a 663 that Zampa will want to say something about it as the McLaren comes to the line now and can only go into 12th. Ollie Bean in the Aston Martin. In the green machine, the Silverstone-based team has run out of battery and will be able to take it away from Quincy. The Haas driver on a day where his rival and teammate misses this Grand Prix. Ollie Bean over the line will only be in 7th position. Brams, who is also one of the rivals for the title, the man second in the World Championship, wanting to capitalise, will come across the line now. It won't be pole, but what about Lanky? Over the line. Lanky can't improve his time. Maybe DZ Racer. What has he got to say about this? Making his way towards the end of the middle sector. Or Sci-Fi Mega Hype. No, they're not improving. I think it is just DZ Racer or maybe Ellis. Ellis, who is 800s down. I don't think they'll be able to do anything about this. As through 18, through 19, and then towards the slight right kink of turn 20, powering towards the line. The Aston Martin driver will come across the line, and LTJ Ellis. Is it pole? It's not pole, but over to DZ Racer. The Red Bull to the line. It's not going to be pole. It's going to be Quincy on pole position. Jesus Christ, that's me. Quincy on pole ahead of Craig Conley, Lanky, NMX James, Scones, DZ Racer, and then Ollie Bean. 7 different teams in the top 7. Racing Bulls lock out the 5th row in 9th and 10th. Arrow, who didn't get a time on the board for the Scarlet in the Ferrari, will start plumb last. Again, I don't know if that's the first time, but it is Arrow's side last, and it is NMX James in 4th, Lanky 3rd, Craig Conley 2nd, but Quincy on pole position for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Right, TJ's trying to fix your thing. Hurry up. It's you. No, Mum, hang on. Hang on. Wait, say something? And again. Wait, say something. Just say a long sentence again. No, okay, can't hear you. I thought I heard you, but no. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Anyway, it is Quincy on pole position, in prime position to try and take this championship lead. Brams, who is stuck all the way down in P8, the Englishman, will look to fight through the field to take an emphatic win from 8th on the grid in Azerbaijan, which we've not really seen many drive-throughs of the field so far. But it is Quincy on pole position for the Haas team. As we go and have a look at the standings. Where are we having a look? Tier 2 standings. I'm not going to load, are they? Because Discord's being crap. Oh, that's great. Let me try and find it. TJ, have you got the standings up? Can you tell me the point difference? It's not loading for me. So Quincy and Brams split by 6 points in the title. They are both trying to hunt down Kodematic, who is not here for today's event. Azerbaijan is known for chaos. The question is, how many safety cars will we have this afternoon in Azerbaijan? It is going to be a big question, but I'm sure we will be able to find that answer when the lights go out, and after 26 laps, who will be left standing when the checkered flag is waving to take the crown in the Baku City street circuit. Obviously, we know, especially on this game, pole position is one of the crucial ones because of the dirty air. That is dirty air is a major contributing factor in this game because of just how much the game is persistent with the dirty air, with how annoying the dirty air is on the F125. As the 5 red lights are on in Baku, the Baku City Grand Prix is go towards turn 1. We're already racing as the lights are out and we're going plummeting towards turn number 1, and it's Quincy who's got the lead from Craig Conley, who is side by side with Lanky, who goes through him goes Lanky into second place. As side by side they go, Scones lunging it down on the inside and into the wall, and there is damage in the runoff. The McLaren of Zampa has gone deep in the runoff as towards turn number 3 we go, and it is Quincy from Lanky, then Craig, James, Scones, Ollie, Bands, Sci-Fi Mega Hype, Ash, Ellis, DZ Racer, Raheem, Zampa. It says Arrow's desynced. I don't actually know what's going on there with Arrow side by side between the 2 racing bulls towards the end of the first sector. 2 racing bulls duking it out side by side round the outside. Sci-Fi Mega Hype's going to try. He will not be able to succeed. Contact again, and in the wall goes the racing bulls of I don't actually know who that was. I think that was Sci-Fi Mega Hype. As into towards the castle section we go. NMX James has already been lost DRS to the cars ahead. As we climb the hill towards the end of the middle sector, Quincy's already got an 8/10 of a second lead. As side by side in the unusual part of the circuit. Oh my god! Damage, big damage on the front wing of Ollie Bean, who has got basically only half a front wing there, as the Racing Bulls, I think, or the Red Bull, I should have said, is now side by side, and that is now Ellis getting past as we go down the main straight to start lap number 2 of 26. Big contact there between Scones and Ollie Bean. I think it was, as I definitely expect Ollie Bean to come into the pit lane. We're going to have a watch from him. Because yeah, just look at that. Look at the right side of that front wing. As side by side down the main straight we go. Into the pits comes Ollie Bean. Ash, I think, was side by side momentarily, but look out front. Let's have a look at the tyres quickly, and it's Quincy on the hard compound tyres on board with the Mercedes, who is going for the lead of the Grand Prix to the inside, to the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The Mercedes man takes the lead here in Baku. As wide there went Craig Conley, going to cost him a bit of time. Brams is out of the race, and there's another pile-up. Sci-Fi Mega Hype's out of the race as well. 2 cars are out, and it's only a virtual safety car. Big news in the championship as well. The man, second in the World Championship, out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Only a virtual safety car for 2 cars crashing out. That's promoted Arrow into the top 10. That's put Ash into the top 5 for Racing Bulls. But it is Lanky who leads the way from Quincy and Craig. And Quincy will be loving the sight of that DNF. Unbelievable. Here in Baku, one of the rivals for the titles has had a big wound as we go racing once again. Green flags are waving, and Arrow's got a major jump, and he is side by side ahead of Raheem. And you don't try moving to there, Arrow. Thought he was going to try it. Raheem and Zampa are side by side, and that battle was eventually cancelled as well. But on board with the McLaren driver, who is looking to make a move on the man third in the world champion, the man who is looking to be able to challenge for the world title, is being put under immense pressure right now. As down the main straight we go. Don't think he is close enough on this occasion to be able to make that move as we hit the brakes and make our way through turn number 1. Once again, it's getting close between DZ Racer and Ellis into turn number 1. Much later on the brakes, the Aston Martin, who slides their way through turn number 1, but a lovely late braking defense there by the Aston Martin driver to keep the place in the race. As there's another crash, and who is it this time? It is Raheem locking the rears, and he is spun around on the exit on the actual mid part of turn number 2. He is around, and that is another driver finding the wall and spinning the car. So much drama on the opening phases of this Grand Prix. Whose idea was it to put Baku on this calendar? I would love to know, because Baku is arguably the worst street circuit, excluding Monaco, of course, for league racing. But anywho, we can move on from this. The Ferrari man, Arrow, on the front foot. That's something we haven't said so far, or something we haven't said much this season, because of him adapting to the new rig that he has acquired. I've just finished making the tier 2 pole position graphic as well as we speak. Simply lovely. It's through turn 15, skittering over the curb, but the race leaders are getting close, and this is a lovely shot with the helicopter cam. I hope we get this down the whole main straight, because I would love to see. It's amazing how much you can see cars close up in the helicopter cam. And the Haas, he is gaining in the slipstream in towards turn number 1. He's not going to be close enough to make the move as Quincy sets a brand new fastest lap of this race, but he is close, and it's surely a matter of time before he does take the lead of the Grand Prix, as DZ Racer does get by. Arrow had a little look, but back on board with Quincy. We're going down to the straight towards turn number 3, and this time he is not close enough, but Ellis is close enough. We get on the exit of turn number 2, ERS enabled, down the main straight, down the back straight, down towards turn number 3, and you see DZ Racer just recharging that battery. Ellis is just going to stay tucked up behind him and just make sure that he doesn't do anything, as DZ Racer does tag the wall, and Arrow's going to look around the outside, maybe try the up and under, try the old switcheroo. A little bit of a moment there for Ellis, and that's just compromised Arrow's exit speed on the exit of turn number 4, but no move being done there. The race leaders starting to check out front, as Brams has left the session for obviously 1 or 2 drivers to be caught in that accident in turn number 2. Unfortunate for the Williams man, who will see very valuable points he snatched out of his graph, but someone who is not looking to get points snatched out of their graph, who is looking to take maximum points, and is set to do so if he can overtake Lanky come what may the end of the 26 laps, and come ahead of all the remaining 12 drivers to finish first. First you have to finish, as Fraser Michael Schumacher said, and especially around street circuits, you have to finish to even be in consideration for a race win, to even be in consideration for a point. Finishing the race is the first goal of any Formula 1 driver, of any racer in general, as down the main straight we go with the Haas driver to the outside, and the rival and the contender for the World Championship is back up into the lead. Our pole sitter retakes the lead, and it's Quincy leading now from Lanky, from Craig Conley, who has just dropped out of DRS, and that's allowed NMX James back in, as Arrow into the top 8 there, late on the brakes for Zampa, tag in the rear, almost into the barrier. Ellis went, as down the main straight we go, and James is pulling out to the inside to try and get some clean air through the airflow of that Ferrari. As towards turn number 4 we go, Lanky was thinking about a move on lap number 5 of 26, but nothing doing there so far. As side by side between Zampa's in the wall with Ellis. 2 cars again at turn number 3, and it's this time they're not out. They've both got fronting damage. Ellis and Zampa find the barrier again. 2 cars being collected, and that's going to be one for the stewards to look at. Surely Ollie Bean, despite all this, is slowly clawing his way back. Ollie Bean could still be in contention for a decent result here. Obviously guaranteed points no matter where you finish, because it goes down to P16 the points. But Lanky will want maximum through 15 towards 16. The Mercedes man getting a little bit out of shape. Craig Conley's clawed his way back into the DRS, as Craig Conley and James have the exact same battery, as Craig Conley makes a mistake, and James is going to strategically stay behind him. No, he's not. Side by side through 18. And this now is going to be Craig Conley with the battery and the DRS down the main straight. But Lanky has got the battery turned on and he is gaining. And the race lead could do battle in towards turn number 1. Pulls out to the inside, fakes the move, but then back to the podium fight. And around the outside, Craig Conley goes and he gets the move done. But James is there to shuffle him a bit wider. Now standing on the power on the exit of turn 1 and James has got through. But back to your race leaders as Lanky will want to retake this Grand Prix lead as we go down the straight towards turn 3. Quincy, will he defend this? He won't defend this. Lanky to the inside, and we've got side-by-side action for the lead, and Lanky can get back the lead, but Quincy was the old switcheroo out of 2 into 4. We go with Quincy and Lanky side by side. The race leaders go. The men who started first and third are side by side, and Quincy can hold the lead of the Grand Prix and not barely using any battery. Quincy as well as Lanky gets all out of shape on the exit of turn number as Arrow's had a spin the Ferrari round, and Arrow was doing so well. He's spun the car, but there is again front wing damage on that front right end plate. Another spinala for the Ferrari man as Quincy starting to check out already. He's now got a 1.3 second lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Ed James in the Ferrari is looking to take P2, and the man who leads the championship, based on this performance, could you be thinking, oh, maybe he should be tier 2 after all? We go down the main straight for the 7th time in this, well no, 6th or 7th time, one of the two, either way, as we go down the main straight, and James is deploying his DRS and he is gaining on Lanky. He's gaining on Lanky and in towards turn number 1. Will we see a late launch to the inside? He has a little look Oscar Piastri-esque style, but nothing doing there at this current moment in time. But James, as into the pit lane comes Scones. James, it's just a question of when, really, I think, because how much James has closed up now, surely it will be a matter of when he is able to make the move as we stay on board with the Ferrari driver. He is not close enough to make a move as of yet. Our pole sitter Quincy leads the way by 1.3 seconds. Staying on the power and once again tagging the wall, and James is going to have a look to the inside, but once again in Baku you have to perfect the lap to be able to do so. If Lanky can get a good result, then I can't speak English. If Lanky gets a good result, then he could overtake Brands in the World Championship. There are so many drivers in contention for this World Championship, because I think after the first 4 rounds earlier in the season, the top 10 was split by 17 points. Like, how close the driver title fight can get. If Lanky can somehow win the race, as Arrow's in the wall. Arrow finds the barrier like Charles Leclerc did in 2025 qualifying, but back to the battle for second as James will now peel into the pit lane along with Craig Conley. So the men who started third and second into the pit lane is going to allow Ash through into third now, as they've got to get rid of the medium tyres a lot earlier. But James, they might be. Something at the minute. I have no idea if you fixed the issue yet, but and there are more yellow flags. This time Zampa has been spun around. The McLaren driver having a massive swapper on the exit. He's had a spin, and he's spun the car, and he's down to 12th and last in the running order. NMX James, the Tier 3 Championship leader, on a charge at the minute. He's almost got back into DRS of Quincy, who is feeling the pressure, turning on the battery, down the main straight we go now, and James, yeah, just not because he's not using that battery. Yeah, look, that 4/10 already lost as we power down the main straight, and yeah, look at the time he's lost. James just hasn't got anything in that energy store left for him as we go down in towards turn number 1. I've posted the thing on the Instagram as I've been speaking this whole time. Scones has just got back within DRS of Ollie Bean, who I mentioned it could be in contention here. Ollie Bean, obviously, he's got 2 drivers ahead of him of Lanky and Craig, who have pitted, but he might be in that P3 in a minute as Scones is gaining inside or outside, looking for a move on the inside, fakes the move, tries to throw the Aston Martin off as we're only on lap 9 of 26 as we go in towards turn number 2. Tag in the rear of Ollie Bean are going to affect his exit, as now at that moment might have just cost him the chance to get him in towards turn number 3, and it does. Scones will not be able to make the move, maybe just sticking behind because of maybe thinking that was unfair, as Ollie Bean tags the wall. Maybe going to try to dive on the inside of 4, tags him in the rear again, down on the power on the exit of turn number 4 towards turn number 5. Scones thinking of a move on the outside, won't do anything now. Ollie Bean runs it in deep. Now we're going to try to cut back on the exit of the corner. We make our way towards the castle, and Scones, if you just turn on your battery, you could have made a move there. You could have overtaken him and started running away already, but no. In towards the castle section we go as Ollie Bean, and with Scones. Ollie Bean getting a little bit out of shape. This is really our only battle on the track at its current moment in time. It is actually, well, it is our only battle on the road. As we go towards turn number 15, and then towards turn 16, we are approaching now the most important corner of the racetrack. And Ollie Bean, is he trying DRS games here? I don't think it's really necessary. On lap 10 of 26, and Scone, yeah, the detection point is not. The detection point's here. The detection point is here, and Ollie is going to get right back past the Frisbee as the level pegging on the battery. Towards turn number 1 we go. Ollie Bean is gaining. Scones are inside or outside. Where will Scones defend this? Ollie Bean will put it out to the inside, but he won't be close enough. And maybe the DRS games wasn't even worth it for Ollie Bean. He's now cost himself a position, and arguably cost himself a second here. Better on the exit of turn number 2, but yeah, nothing doing there for the Aston Martin driver. And Aston Martin looking for a pretty wretched race in 8th and 11th. I say that, McLaren currently 6th and 12th. Then Ferrari 2nd and so, that was a big slide there as we rode on board there with the Haas driver. But Ferrari seeming the best of the constructors so far in 2nd and 10th. But I don't think Arrow this season has finished higher than 13th. Arrow is better of far for and has the of the play. Probably a warning picked up there for the as we hit the brakes through turn number 16, down on the power. But maybe Easy Rider gonna have the 3 attack ball in the first side understeer. Beginning, try and make a move. Turn brand new okay into it. Lost the up and a half second. So off in the wall goes DZ Rider. Another driver behind Barry, and that Red Bull at no plates. Something you don't see often, especially in these situations. Having no end plates is crucial. Back with your see as we go on the exit of turn number 12. You can just there flat through 14, and then turn number 15, and then turn number 16. No battles out on the track, so we're just going to watch our two race leaders who still lead the way, and I've got probably at least another 5, 6, 7, or maybe even 8 laps to find the optimal window. As a side by side, and another moment for, and this time a moment for Ellis, who's had a moment and made a mistake, and he's now been repassed by SSR Zampa, who is back up into the top 11. It's now Ellis running down in last as we hit the brakes through turn number 1, and Quincy still continues to lead the way. Lanky absolutely flying. As we go through towards turn number 3, on board, well, was on board. Smoking Ash has opted for the medium tyres already, as we make our way down towards turn number 3. Watching from Craig Conley, who is currently net P2 in this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. But the question is, will he be able to hold it? Will they go to the end on these hard compound tyres? As I don't really know what to talk about, because nothing's really happening. Someone's now within DRS of someone again. Yeah. Scones within DRS of DZ Racer as we go through the castle chicane. Don't pull it in the wall, Scones. Good lad. I'm probably just going to plan the move in towards turn number 1 once again, but we've seen drivers have got impatient and they've just decided to flood on by as Ellis and Zampa are side by side. They was side by side. The Aston Martin gets back past the McLaren. As I'm just going to keep an eye on this battle as it's costing Scones a lot of time. Cost him another 4 tenths there on the exit to Craig Conley. As look how wide DZ Racer's gone. As Scones just keep your battery off. As James in the pit lane. NMX James has opted to box. So that's probably confirming that he is on the 2-stop strategy. As Scones down the main straight. He is gaining. He is gaining. He is side by side with the Red Bull. Down towards turn 1. It's not even a contest. It actually is. It is quite a strong contest here. DZ Racer keeping his battery on, but because of the lack of downforce, because of the damage, is not able to do so. It's NMX James timed that to perfection. He's just come out ahead of Scones. On James has gone from hard tyres to hard tyres. So 2-stop strategy confirmed as DZ Racer had another major moment on the exit of turn number 2. And what's going on in the Twitch chat? Adam said 16 minutes ago, no, 18 minutes ago, Adam asked what happened at lap 3 when the 2 cars didn't have. Adam, if you're still watching, there was a pile up at turn 2. As so what's going on here? James has caught half a second already. My hair is being very weird today. After I had a shower, that's great. So this is my problem. When nothing's happening, I don't know what to yap about. It will be a stretch for Lanky and Craig, but it's really going to be asking the question now: can Quincy make a 1-stop strategy work and make it work competitively? Because without a doubt you have to manage the medium tyres. There's no doubt about that. You have to manage medium tyres, otherwise they die within like 5 or 6 laps. As that gap is now under 10 seconds between the 2 race leaders. What the hell are you eating, TJ? Oh, banging. DZ Racer into pit lane. Please change your front wing. He does. Thank God. He had no end plates, but Smoking Ash to the inside on Scones, and through turn 2 and then towards turn 3 we are now, and into the wall goes Scones, tagging the barrier. The Williams driver goes, and I've just noticed we're finally halfway through this Grand Prix, as Scones got all out of shape there, and now NMX James is starting to close that gap down. The gap now under 3 seconds. In a minute, watch on the traction. There we go. Nice notification there. So the gap now 8.2 seconds. So he's catching at about 2 seconds a lap. Let's compare lap times when they cross the line. Actually, let's just have a quick look. 47.2, 44.9. Wow. 2.3 seconds on the last lap between Quincy and Lanky. And he has to go at least this in the next lap, I would say, to make the one-stop work. And if it's a consistent like 2 seconds a lap, that gap's only going to be 3.2, as there is yellow flags. And it's DZ Racer again, who has found the wall. And once again, he's got no end plates on that Red Bull car. He's just pitted to get some end plates, and he's instantly lost them again. And straight back into the pit lane. Red Bull will service a car once more. DZ Racer, sort it out, mate. That is actually quite funny. Raheem is catching Ollie Bean, but NMX James catching Craig Conley, and Lanky catching Quincy, and an incredible racer not. And James has already majorly undercut. He's already got within 10 seconds of Quincy. So it's making me think, is this one stop really worth it? Obviously, if he can make sure he comes out ahead of DZ Race. Why? I mean, Arrow, Ellis, and Zampa won't complain. That's 3 positions for them. Gap now 4.7 seconds, and when you see people catching you in an incredible rate and not, you then tend to panic. You tend to think, "Oh crap! I've got to get onto new tires quick, so I can get as big of an advantage as possible." As there's a little moment there for Lanky on the exit, as Raheem is now within DRS of Ollie Bean, who has done 13 laps. James will not get DRS, will not be close enough on this occasion in the turn 1, but next time around, you bet he will. As Quincy, as I was just saying, maybe a bit early for the medium tyres to get the distance. Surely he chucks on the set of mediums and will try and go to the end. He will come out. As we're watching Raheem, look on the mini-map on the right-hand side. He will come out behind Ash and behind Brams. A long way ahead of Raheem and Ollie Bean, as as Raheem does get by Ollie Bean, who does peel into pit lane. As so, Quincy, the gap, 15.9 seconds. The gap between Lanky and Quincy. And if Lanky can continue on like this, extend for like maybe another 4 laps, the race for the charge for the lead is on. The Mercedes man could be on for the lead here, as James is hunting down Craig Conley. This is the top 3 we haven't had yet this season. Lanky, Craig, and James. Not 3 names you often say in tier 2 in actual proper contention for the win. You obviously had Lanky in China, in a rain-soaked China, where the track did look bone dry, but the track was too damp to go to the slicks, which gave Scones his miraculous maiden WHF victory, and actually gave Scones his maiden championship leading week. And the only time Scones has led the championship was after that Chinese Grand Prix, but still a memory that he will cherish forever. He's looking set for maybe P5 or 6, but down the main straight we go, and James is in the slipstream. Craig Conley isn't using his battery here, and down the main straight we go. He's gaining in the slipstream, pulls out to the inside, and the Ferrari man will go through into 2nd place in the race. NMX James takes second. He's got 1 down, 1 to go until he gets the net race lead. Quincy's already gained a second as Smoking Ash only did 5 laps on the medium compound tyres before calling it a day. That's what I mean when the medium tyres are absolutely useless here. Or just they're useless in general in this game. Quincy, if he has this information saying, oh, Ash only lasted 5 laps on the tyres, he will be crapping himself thinking, oh, I've got to do 11 on them. Like, NMX James through turns 5 and then through turn number 6 and then towards turn number 7 we go with NMX James, who is now 1.4 seconds from your race leader Lanky. I know. Through up the hill through the castle and then through turns 8 and 9 and through turn 10 and 11 and then through 12 and then flat through 13 and then flat through 14 and then towards the heavy braking zone of turn number 15. And James is already within DRS. And what's happened this time? It's Ellis in the barrier again. The Aston Martin again with more torrential efforts here in Baku. No damage visible, but the race leaders to do battle. Lanky has got more battery, but DRS is so strong here in Baku. Is it going to be a contest into turn number 1? Gaining in the slipstream. Lanky was thinking about pitting maybe, as James is gaining. He's gaining. How brave is James feeling on the brakes? Not brave enough, as Craig Conley is thinking strategic here. He's going to go for the undercut on these guys, as James has a little look for the inside of turn 2. Nothing doing there. Quincy goes through into the podium places. Craig Conley should come out in P4 as side by side the race leaders go, and NMX James takes the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and he's now going to have to hurry his pace up if he is to make his 2-slot strategy work. Is Lanky maybe scheduling to go to the end? He would have to do a lot of management if he is to do so, but never say never here in Baku this evening. Anything's possible. If there's a virtual safety car, Lanky and James are absolutely loving life, and Quincy will want to cry. Not really catching, but as you say that, he's getting 8 tenths already this lap. So, side by side between Scones and Raheem, and Scones gets back up into the top 6 there, almost tags the barrier. Took a very wide, took a bit of a wider line on the exit of turn number 6. I've just got a ping telling me clip please. Oh god, what have I been reported for? Wait, I'm confused. How did I push this guy off? Hang on, I would watch this, but hang on, now I'm curious. As into the pit lane comes Raheem as well. I've been reported for something I didn't do. So Raheem pits, and the gap, and Quincy's gained 2 seconds so far. Need to recover that. So nothing really happening so far. Obviously Lanky 2.2 seconds back from the race lead at this current moment in time. Yeah, I agree. Arrow was a freeze. Where'd you get a penalty here? Where'd you go? Where'd you go up? Where's he gone up? He hasn't gone off at turn 2. He hasn't cut the inside of turn 2, has he? I'm really confused how I've done something wrong. I don't know what. I don't know how I forced him off. Yeah, from RC. I don't remember pushing someone off the track. Oh, and with a spectating Arrow, he's gone for a spin in the castle section. We were watching Arrow, and he's just spun the car in the castle section, coming out on the new set of hard compound tyres. Arrow has done a cheeky 90-degree spin, and he's somehow not found the barrier. No damage on that Ferrari. He will gladly take that. What, huh? Has he got damage now? Oh, I just, God's sake! As I turned away from him. As side by side, Arrow and Zampa are going, and Arrow does get the place. In towards, well, not even in towards, just through before turn number 1. But Ellis, yeah, very slowly. Obviously, the hard time. Okay, my foot after one of the mediums. Anywho, something is telling me Lanky's going to try and brave this out here. As James pits, which he had to do. He went hard. So, this is now the strategies. This is where they come into play. I think Lanky's going to gamble and go to the end. He can give up just over a second a lap. He can give up like 1.1 seconds a lap. 6 remaining here in Baku, and this is going to be a threat again. James comes out just behind Craig Connolly, which promotes Craig Connolly back into the podium places as we go through turn 2 with your drivers 3rd and 4th in the Grand Prix. The man who is 3rd in the World Championship, if I'm not wrong, Quincy, is he set to take the lead of the Grand Prix today? TJ, do a quick fact check. 22 points per second. 22 points per second. Oh, someone's off again, and it's not Ellis. Who is it? It's Ollie Bean. Ollie Bean's off on the exit of turn 2, and turn 2's been a really difficult corner for our drivers today. They've seemed to struggle a lot in turn number 2, but this is going to be our sole focus now. Well, just the sole focus will be the gap between Lanky and Quincy, but then we're going to be watching James make his way by. James will be on the charge here. He's got 5 points. He's got to make up just over a second a lap, I think, to be able to challenge Quincy, and then needs at least 2 seconds a lap as Ellis sets our brand new fastest lap of the Grand Prix of 43.126 as we go through turn 16 down towards turn number 17. So flat through 17, 18, flat through 19, and then flat through turn number 20. And NMX James will be gaining in the slipstream, pulls out to the outside, and the Ferrari and McLaren are side by side. And the Red Bull, why have I said the Red Bull? The Ferrari gets through into the podium places. Craig Connolly concedes the podium after qualifying on the front row for McLaren. The gap out front now a 5.6. The time's last lap, 46.7, 44.8. That was 1.9 seconds last lap. At the minute, he can now give up a second a lap and still win the Grand Prix by 5/10. But I think it's good. I think this is Quincy's to lose now. As I say that though, the gap is now 3.1 between James and Quincy. So, is this going to be a last lap shootout? 2 seconds gain for James last lap against Quincy as we go. I'm gonna get rid of the tyres now because we know what they're on. So 1 lap old mediums for James, 6 lap old mediums for Quincy, who has still got another 5 laps to negotiate it with as we climb the hill, and another half a second gained by James. And the gap out front now 5.3. So we've got 3 cars all on different strategies here. Lanky went for medium hard. Quincy went for hard medium. James has gone for hard medium. And then Craig Conley went for medium hard. And then Ash went for hard medium hard. So the top 5 have all done different strategies here in Azerbaijan. And it seems to be, at the minute, if it was to finish like this, it seems to be that Lanky's wacky strategy is going to win the Grand Prix. But I think it's going to be a tale of another end. I think it's going to be the Haas driver who will take the lead. But James with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 42.533. This will be a shootout between Quincy and between James. Could it be a drag to the line as we go onto the final 4 laps of this Grand Prix? The gap now 1.2 between Quincy and James. Lap 23 and 26. We've gone through the boring phase of the race as Scones is now caught up to the rear of PFRL Smoking Ash as we go down the back straight towards turn number 3, and James is now within DRS, and Scones will not make the move this time in towards turn number 3. Quincy's now been put under pressure. The man third in the World Championship being put under pressure by our Tier 3 Championship leader as a massive drift there by the Haas driver James, showing himself to the Haas driver's mirrors as we go towards the castle section. Those medium tyres seem to have had it on Quincy's Haas. I did mention earlier that the medium tyres were a pretty useless tyre. That's probably why Ash got off them so quickly. But now, is there going to be DRS games here? Quincy is gaining, but James, if he can get by on this lap, will probably be with him at the end of the next lap, considering the tyre difference. I think, what is it, 14 laps to 2? 15 laps to 2 laps in comparison. There's your positions gained. Danky's gained 2, Quincy's lost 1, James has gained 1, Perry has lost 2, Smoking Ash has gained 5. Now, this is the chance. This is the moment that Ash has been waiting. This is the moment that James has been waiting for. Down the main straight we go. This is the chance that James has wanted. This is the overtake of the Grand Prix. This could decide your race winner. To the inside, to second place, to the first chance to strike for the race win. We got 3 to go, and James has gone through into the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and Craig Conley might try and sniff out a podium. Look at the gap, it's already under a second there. He's already getting a second. 3 to go, and will James just think, you know what, I might just make a move in before the main straight. James has got the grip, he's got the confidence. Let's just try and make that move already before it. But James, I think he's just going to try and stay tucked up behind him. This is going to bunch the top 4 up maybe. If he can stay tucked up behind us. Scones has gone off in turn 3. Scones has got damage. So Scones will get P6 at best, I think, now here in Baku. But look at this, look at all the concertinaing up as maybe side by side, surely not side by side in the castle. No, they think better of it. But now we go through the castle section. Look how close this is. Quincy's sniffing a chance as a little bit of a slide there by Quincy, but James is just going to stay tucked up behind him. Blanky turned the battery on there, but now down the main straight we go. We've got your top 4 all within 1.1 seconds. Baku, you are treating us to a special as we approach the end of the Grand Prix. Lanky, please do some DRS games, make this interesting. Will Lanky try the DRS games? I don't think he's going to do it. No, he's not. Oh, no. I think it's going to cost him the win here. Not trying any DRS games. Just not trying to salvage any DRS. But this is the chance that James has been waiting for. He's pulled out to the outside. And the Ferrari driver is going to see the checkered flag first, maybe, on the end of the lap 26. As James takes the lead onto the penultimate lap. Janky concedes the place. Craig Conley late on the brakes. Straight on. Just avoids the barrier, and Craig Conley was thankful that his lock-up stopped, as now Quincy's desperate to get by. Quincy straight on the power on the exit of turn number 2. Lanky and Quincy are side by side. James is gone. James has got the win. It's Quincy v Lanky for second place, and Lanky concedes the place, and Quincy gets through. And maybe a dive bomb in towards turn 4. No, not close enough there. Quincy does get by. Gets to get by Lanky, and it seems to be that the Tier 3 Championship leader might have just sealed his fate and sealed his confirmation to be Tier 2 after today, maybe. But NMX James, the reserve, the Championship leader, It's gonna look weird, isn't it? You're gonna see his face twice in the race winner graphics. I told you the one-stop wasn't the strategy yet. I told you, TJ. As Crew Conley gets the podium place, a mistake by Lanky. It's just given. It's given the McLaren the place. Look at those rear tyres on that Mercedes. Look at the graining on them. Zampa pits. I'm gonna guess he's gonna go for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. As we are about to begin the final lap of this race, and I'll tell you who is in contention for second place. Craig Conley is in contention for second place in the Grand Prix as we go down the main straight. We go down the main straight towards turn number 1. Craig Conley's got the battery on. He's gaining in the slipstream. He's gaining in the slipstream of SSRL Quincy. Is he going to look for the inside? No, he's not. He's going to play the patient game. Maybe play a drag race towards towards the start finish line. We're on the final lap of this Grand Prix. Late on the brakes, locking up. Contact between the front tyre and side pod. Moment for Craig Conley. It's going to cost him the chance into turn 3. Or will it? He's gaining in the slipstream. Quincy's not even going to defend this one. Craig Conley to the inside to second place in the Grand Prix. Craig Conley does get the move done. Quincy's conceded it, but does he think he can stay close enough? But those rear tyres are absolutely screaming on the Haas. Oh, God. That's why I normally have a drink with me. Jesus. On the final lap of this race, LMX James has absolutely checked out. Craig Conley is going to finish where he started, our pole sitter. Is going to finish in 3rd. Puncture for Lanky. It's a rear right puncture for Lanky. He gambled the one stop, and he's gambled it with a longevity on the hard tyres. And 18 laps is 18 laps too long. The rear right has given up on that Mercedes, and the question is, when is it going to shred? As Arrow has gone straight on at turn 2, and the Mercedes man has had a moment, giving up 6th place, but out in front though, it is gonna be the Tier 3 championship leader has come to Tier 2 and has taken them all to school in the streets of Baku, wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Craig Conley will take 2nd place in the race ahead of championship protagonist Quincy. Ash in the Racing Bulls is going to take one of his best results in WHF. P4 for him. Lascones takes 5th. Lanky with the rear right puncture will take P6. Raheem will tag the barrier down the main straight, but Raheem weaving down the main straight, he will take P7. He's happy with that, you can tell by the weaving. He takes P7 in Baku. Ollie Bean is going to take P8 in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And maybe, if we go to penalties, Arrow might lose out to Ellis here. But I think he would just be fine. Ollie Bean will come home for what has been quite the dismal Azerbaijan Grand Prix, I think it's safe to say, for Ollie Bean. He takes P8 in the race. Arrow, a man we haven't had in the top 10 all season long, as far as race results are concerned. Arrow will take his best result of the season. He will take P9 in the streets of Azerbaijan. Ellis will come across the line in 10th. And Zampa, who is going for the fastest lap, can he take it away? The fastest lap right now is a 41.886. And Zampa over the line does get the fastest lap while spinning over the line. It is Zampa in 11th. But it is NMX James, the Tier 3 championship leader, winning for the 2nd day in a row. Won in Sao Paulo in phenomenal style. And he wins in Baku in phenomenal style. P10 to P4 for Ash. That is a bloody great drive by him. Not many things. Not many incidents on the race director. Arrow our only finisher to pick up a track limit penalty. But that is Baku. Done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. Took a while, but it is done. It is finished. And obviously I can't do interviews because my thing is bugged in Discord. So, ciao adios. I will see you all for the next one.